Archangel Michael says, something divine shifted in the atmosphere when they looked into your eyes. You didn't see it, but their heart cracked open in that exact moment. A hidden truth was stirred, something they buried long ago came rushing back, and it shattered their peace. They haven't been able to sleep since that encounter. Your presence reminded them of something powerful, something sacred. And now, God is revealing why they were so deeply shaken. The truth is this: your soul carries a light they tried to run from. A light that exposes lies, awakens guilt, and whispers divine purpose. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says, they were not prepared to see the truth of themselves through you. Your eyes didn't just look, they saw. They saw beyond flesh, into spirit, into wounds, into stories they thought no one else knew. They tried to pretend it was nothing. They laughed, looked away, acted as though the moment didn't matter. But it did. That 1 second has haunted them ever since. It unlocked a chain reaction in the spiritual realm. It caused their past decisions, betrayals, and buried feelings to rise again. Type Amen to get blessing 909. You have been chosen as a vessel of divine clarity. Your spirit doesn't speak loudly, it reflects. And when certain people come near you, their truth trembles under your silence. This person thought they had buried the chapter involving you. They thought distance would erase it, and time would rewrite their guilt. But the moment they saw your eyes again, their heart whispered, you never stopped being important. They can't rest because their soul knows what they denied is still alive. God is making it impossible for them to pretend anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 122. They tried to move on. They filled their days with distractions, surrounded themselves with noise, and pretended you never mattered. But even in the crowd, they feel your silence. Archangel Michael says, your presence is a mirror to those who tried to hide who they became. And now, their mind replays that one moment, your gaze. It hit them like lightning. That moment destroyed the illusion they lived in. It reminded them that real connection can't be faked, and truth can't be ignored. God revealed your value to them in full force. Type Amen to get blessing 777. This is more than emotion. This is divine alignment. God used your eyes to speak a language their heart had forgotten. It wasn't just the way you looked at them. It was what your gaze held. It carried forgiveness they didn't deserve, love they had lost, and strength they lacked. Now they are facing something they thought they'd never confront again, you. Not your name, or your voice, but the essence of you. And that's what's keeping them awake. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They know they hurt you, and the shame has grown louder with every passing night. At first, they blamed you. Then they blamed life. But now, they're blaming themselves. Archangel Michael says, divine justice doesn't always come with thunder. Sometimes, it comes through eyes that remind people of who they were before pride entered their heart. Your pain was never forgotten by God. Your silence was your strength. And now, Heaven is forcing this person to remember everything they lost. Type Amen to get blessing 818. They can't talk about it to anyone. Their heart races every time your name even comes up. They pretend they've moved on, but deep down, they're unraveling. They scroll through old photos. They visit the places you both once crossed paths. They're searching for a way to undo what they did, even if it's too late. Archangel Michael says, "You are the storm they didn't prepare for." Not a storm of anger, but a storm of awakening. Type Amen to get blessing 171. They can't stand the silence anymore. Their spirit is crying out in the dark. What they saw in your eyes wasn't revenge or hatred. It was truth. And that truth pierced their soul like a sword. It reminded them who they used to be before ego, lies, and fear consumed them. God is working on this person behind the scenes. They are being spiritually corrected. You are not forgotten, you are divinely respected. Type Amen to get blessing 292. Some people carry beauty in their words. But you, chosen one, carry power in your silence. And they saw that. They may never admit it publicly, but their soul is breaking. Every tear they cry now is a seed of realization. You were never the problem, you were the blessing. Archangel Michael says, don't be surprised if they come back. Not because they want to disturb your peace, but because they want to confess what their mouth couldn't say when it mattered. Type Amen to get blessing 626. They feel unworthy now. That one look from you reminded them of all the grace they rejected. You didn't need to say a word, your eyes told the whole story. This person has dreams about you. Sometimes you're standing in front of them, sometimes walking away. But always, always with those eyes, full of knowing, full of calm. God is convicting their heart in ways they cannot explain. And it all began with that one glance. Type Amen to get blessing 101. You might think it was just another day. But for them, it was a turning point. Your energy activated something in the spirit world that can't be reversed. They now recognize what they lost. Not just your presence, but your light. Archangel Michael says, God is drawing them toward truth through your reflection. They are being reformed by your courage, even from a distance. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Some people spend their whole lives searching for peace. And some unknowingly destroy the one person who carried it. They destroyed your name. They walked away with pride. But they are now drowning in the weight of what they left behind. You have risen, stronger and more radiant. And the moment they saw your eyes, they knew, you didn't need them to shine. Type Amen to get blessing 888. This is not revenge. This is revelation. What God is showing them now is what you carried silently. They judged your softness. They mocked your stillness. But now, they would give anything just to be near your spirit again. Archangel Michael says, your glow is protected. Heaven has assigned angels to guard your peace. Type Amen to get blessing 313. There is a letter they've written but never sent. A message they type, delete, and retype. They want to tell you everything, but fear holds them back. Their spirit is restless. Their mind is haunted. Their heart is full of regret. They looked into your eyes and saw the very thing they thought they could never feel again, divine love. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The spiritual realm is shaking. Chains are breaking. Because when your eyes met theirs, something sacred moved through them. God used you as a mirror. And now, they must face what they became, and what they could have been with you beside them. This is not just a human moment. This is a divine awakening. Type Amen to get blessing 144. You have no idea how powerful your presence has become. You walk with grace, and the earth responds. They feel that now. They realize your love wasn't just emotional, it was healing. Archangel Michael says, God is raising your name in rooms your feet haven't entered. The same person who doubted you is now watching your elevation unfold. Type Amen to get blessing 606. They betrayed something holy when they walked away from you. And God has shown them the cost. Their soul is crying out. They are not the same. They looked into your eyes and finally understood what real connection feels like. This story is not over. But it is no longer in their control. God has taken over. Type Amen to get blessing 747. They walk around every day, wearing a smile that no longer fits. Because behind their silence, a storm of realization has taken root. You didn't need to say a single word, your spirit spoke volumes. Every time they close their eyes, your gaze flashes before them like lightning in a storm. They are no longer at peace. That single moment shattered the false calm they built around themselves. Now they hear your voice in their silence. They remember things you said long ago, and every word feels like truth echoing from heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 464. Archangel Michael says, their soul is under conviction. Not by you, but by divine justice. That one moment wasn't just a memory, it was a spiritual awakening they can't run from. God allowed your paths to cross again for a reason. It wasn't random. It was divine strategy, a moment scripted by heaven. Because now, something is shifting in them. Guilt is turning into confession. Regret is turning into realization. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You are the evidence of God's mercy in their life. They didn't recognize it then, but now, your absence burns louder than your presence ever did. They replay the exact second your eyes met theirs. The way your energy stayed calm while theirs trembled. The way you stood in truth while they faked comfort. You have become the reminder they can't escape. The soul they didn't deserve, but secretly still long for. Type Amen to get blessing 808. Your peace has become their punishment. Your growth, your strength, your silence, It's all echoing louder in their heart than any noise they created around them. They tried to replace you. But nothing worked. Because what you offered wasn't found, it was felt. Archangel Michael says, their soul is now walking through a spiritual desert. And the only water they seek is the one they once rejected, you. Type Amen to get blessing 747. They carry a burden now. One they created with their own choices. One that only heaven can help them lift. Your image shows up in their prayers. In dreams. In moments of weakness. They look into the mirror and see a version of themselves they no longer recognize. Because when they saw you again, truly saw you, they saw everything they could have become if they had walked in truth. Type Amen to get blessing 234. You were their turning point, and they missed it. But heaven did not miss you. God saw it all, and God is now responding. Every sleepless night they endure is not punishment, it's purification. Their soul is being stripped of illusion and pride. Archangel Michael says, your light is untouchable. And your eyes are the doorway to everything they now know they lost. Type Amen to get blessing 155. They are about to reach out. But not in pride. This time, it will come from brokenness, from surrender. They are being led back by spiritual force, not human emotion. They are being pulled by God's hand, not guilt alone. Because what they saw in your eyes was not just memory. It was destiny, and heaven isn't letting them forget it. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Your spirit carries royalty. Your pain has crowned you with unseen strength. And your silence has preached louder than any voice ever could. They walked away from gold thinking it was ordinary. Now they're starving in a land of illusions, longing for what they threw away. Archangel Michael says, they are learning now that real isn't replaceable. And you are always real. Type Amen to get blessing 118. Even their own shadow cannot comfort them anymore. Because in the absence of your presence, their soul has lost its anchor. They are lost not just in emotion, but in realization. That moment with your eyes was their revelation. Heaven opened a spiritual scroll when they saw you again. A scroll with your name on it, a timeline of missed promises. Type Amen to get blessing 131. You may not have known how powerful that one look was. But God knew. That's why He made it happen. Your eyes held light, purity, justice, truth. And now, they see it every time they close theirs. They are praying for peace, but peace won't return until they face what they ran from, you. Type Amen to get blessing 144. This is not your burden to carry. You've already released. You've already healed. But God is still writing the other side of the story. You're walking into new elevation. New doors. New relationships. But they are still standing at the door they never opened, the door to truth. Archangel Michael says, your peace will increase. Their understanding will deepen. But it will come through divine correction, not comfort. Type Amen to get blessing 161. They never thought they'd see you again. But heaven arranged the encounter, not for your pain, but for their awakening. And now? Now they are broken. Quietly. Privately. Constantly. Your image has become a mirror to their soul. And what they see scares them, because it's not what they used to be. It's what they could have been with you. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They are not the same person they were before that moment. Something sacred was shaken loose within them. Their ego shattered, their confidence cracked, and their mask fell off. They once laughed at your silence. Now they fear it. Because in that silence, they hear everything they tried to silence within themselves. Their heart has become a battlefield of emotions, regret, fear, longing, and shame. And each time they remember your eyes, they remember what they lost. Type Amen to get blessing 515. Archangel Michael says, this is the season of reversal. God is showing people who you really were all along. And those who rejected you are being shown why they should have protected you. They are seeing signs. Dreams. Repeated symbols tied to you. And no matter where they turn, your energy follows them. It's no longer about what happened. It's about what's happening now. God is reminding them that spiritual connection can't be severed by distance or silence. Type Amen to get blessing 121. They didn't understand the power of that moment. But now, they can't undo it. That one gaze is tattooed into their soul. It plays like a flash of light during every moment of weakness. They feel your calm every time chaos surrounds them. And they wonder, why did I ever let that kind of peace go? They're realizing that what they lost wasn't just a person, it was a destiny-aligned soul. Type Amen to get blessing 171. Your value has now become their lesson. And their heartbreak is coming not from what you did, but from what they didn't do when they had the chance. Archangel Michael says, your light has always been misunderstood by the wrong hearts. But now, they're being awakened to what they were blind to before. God allowed your absence to become their teacher. And now their soul is sitting in a silent classroom filled with everything they refused to hear before. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They never thought your silence could be louder than their noise. But now they feel it, deep, piercing, undeniable. Their world has become quiet. Their distractions no longer distract. Because your eyes opened up a wound that only truth could touch. They see your strength now. They see your love differently. And God has made sure they can't forget it. Type Amen to get blessing 404. They were warned. Heaven gave them signs, dreams, gut feelings. But they ignored them all because their pride shouted louder than their spirit. But now that pride has become a prison. They sit in silence, trapped in a storm of their own design. And the only doorway out is to admit what they did to you. Archangel Michael says, do not return out of pity. Let them meet the version of themselves they've tried to avoid. Type Amen to get blessing 555. You are not who you used to be. And that's what shocks them the most. You've grown, transformed, elevated. The same eyes that once held pain now carry power. The same heart they once broke now beats in strength. God is exalting you. Quietly, divinely, consistently. And they are watching. Type Amen to get blessing 717. They wonder if they still have a place in your world. But deep down, they know, they gave it up. And now they must live with the echo of your gaze. They told themselves you were replaceable. But no matter who they meet, it never feels the same. They laugh, they talk, but their soul feels hollow. Because what they saw in your eyes can't be duplicated. It was divine. Unmatched. Sacred. Type Amen to get blessing 828. They wake up with your name sitting in their chest. They dream of you walking away and turning your back slowly. It haunts them more than any fear. You've become their unfinished sentence. Their spiritual scar. Their proof that not everything lost can be recovered. Archangel Michael says, don't open doors God already closed. What's meant for you now comes without begging, without pain, without betrayal. Type Amen to get blessing 929. You are walking in divine favor. And your steps are protected by heaven's army. They are now trying to remember how they let someone like you slip through their hands. And every time they remember your eyes, the truth becomes heavier. That one look shattered their pride. It lifted a veil. And now, they're seeing everything. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. They will try to return. Not for the same reasons they left, but because they can't escape what your spirit planted in them. They've seen beauty, but never presence. They've seen love, but never your kind. And now, they understand, some people are once in a lifetime. Archangel Michael says, stand firm. You are not in their cycle, you are in your elevation. Type Amen to get blessing 333. This person's peace is gone. What once felt secure now feels empty. Because what you brought wasn't temporary, it was rooted in truth. You are not someone they can forget. You are not someone time can erase. You are the moment their soul keeps returning to. And every time they think they've moved on, they remember your eyes. And it all comes flooding back. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. They wish they could undo their actions. But God is making them understand them instead. You were a divine gift. But they treated you like an option. And now, their spirit is being corrected by heaven's hands. Archangel Michael says, you don't need closure when God is giving you elevation. Let their regret be their teacher. Type Amen to get blessing 747. They scroll through your social media at midnight. They don't like, they don't comment, but they watch. And every photo, every post, is another reminder of what they can't undo. They see your glow now. Not the kind that comes from makeup or filters, but the kind that comes from surviving pain and still choosing peace. God has placed an invisible light around you. One they feel, but can no longer touch. And that truth is slowly destroying their false sense of peace. Type Amen to get blessing 434. Archangel Michael says, this is their awakening season. The walls they built with ego are now collapsing. And your image stands in the rubble, calm, radiant, unbothered. They can't understand how you've risen without revenge. How your silence has spoken louder than any war. But it's because God was fighting for you. That single moment when their eyes met yours was a divine confrontation. Their soul knew then, they lost something sacred. Type Amen to get blessing 505. Even when they're surrounded by people, they feel your absence echo louder. Laughter isn't joy anymore. Success doesn't feel like victory anymore. Because none of it holds your light. They tried to fill the void with attention, distraction, and noise. But your energy was not noise, it was peace. And that kind of peace isn't found twice. Type Amen to get blessing 343. Now they are pacing floors they once danced on. Remembering your words they once ignored. Whispering your name into silence that doesn't answer back. And the worst part? They know it's their fault. No one took you away from them. They let you go. Archangel Michael says, this is the harvest of their choices. And your breakthrough is the fruit of your endurance. Type Amen to get blessing 888. You are being elevated for how you held your pain in dignity. For how you didn't retaliate, but instead released. For how your eyes didn't carry revenge, but revelation. They are finally understanding what heaven already knew, you were never ordinary. That moment they looked into your eyes, they saw a glimpse of what God was preparing you for. And now, they're watching it unfold from a distance. Type Amen to get blessing 717. They used to look down on your silence. Now they would give anything just to hear your voice again. They used to ignore your presence. Now they feel its absence like thunder in their soul. You are not someone they can replace. You are someone they must remember forever. Type Amen to get blessing 636. They want to speak. To say sorry. To explain. But they're afraid. Because the version of you now feels unreachable. And that fear is justice. Because they broke you when you were soft. Now you're strong, and they don't know how to approach. Archangel Michael says, you are guarded by the heavens now. Only the worthy can step close again. Type Amen to get blessing 999. This is your rising season. A new level is calling your name. And no one who broke your soul will be allowed to cross into your new peace. God is making a statement with your life. Those who thought you were done will see you elevated. Those who left you will watch you shine without bitterness. And the ones who saw your eyes, and felt something break, will now see your crown, and understand why. Type Amen to get blessing 404. They may send a message. They may try to return. But it won't feel the same. Because you're no longer where they left you. You've grown in silence. You've healed in the shadows. And now you're rising in light. They are remembering the moment they looked into your eyes as the day their soul awakened, and their world began to shake. Type Amen to get blessing 313. Archangel Michael says, what they saw in your eyes was divine recognition. It was their spirit recognizing a soul assignment they failed to honor. That's why it haunts them. That's why they can't sleep. That's why their pride is trembling. Because you are not forgettable. You are not replaceable. You are chosen, and now, they know it too late. Type Amen to get blessing 727. Let this be your closure, they know. And no matter what they say, or don't say, they felt it. That moment you locked eyes with them was not just emotional, it was spiritual. It was eternal. And they will carry it for life. You were a message from heaven, and God has already revealed everything. Type Amen to get blessing 777.